So as a result, the run on 17 for the Panthers for the best part of the season has been their best 17. Well, that continued tonight without Coote and without Walsh. The Raiders won the toss, kicking off and running left to right.
A bit warm for Penrith even, these conditions. Here's Leroy Lars going out to Campese. Dugan, cut-out ball away to Croker, playing outside Monahan and getting away from them. Good ball for Dugan, who's got Monahan backing up, and Canberra score. Lovely hands down the left-hand side. Dugan heavily involved. Good work by Croker, who's been playing outside Monahan, and the big fella, Big Red, stayed alive to make it 4-0.
Well, they were short, the Panthers, and it looked like they had adjusted well. Travis Burns slides out, as does Purtell. Sandor Earl just a bit slow to go to Croker. He gave him too much room. That was a super pass around the corner. Sandor Earl needed to make the tackle immediately. He just hung off Croker, and he's got great footwork, Croker. Gets in between both players there. Good strength to hold the ball up for Dugan. And then he offloads to Joel Monahan.
Midway through this set of 6. They're setting themselves for Graham to Lewis. A step off the right foot, a ball back on the inside, and Kingston plunges over. What a step by Luke Lewis to come back against the grain of the defence and pop it onto the chest for that man, Kingston.
Well, you need to play the conditions in Canberra. When it's cold, it's hard to keep your feet on a slippery surface. So you need to change the angle. You need to go back on inside shoulders with cross plays or just digging into the line yourself. And don't kick a lot because of Luke Walsh, sorry.
Here's Dugan being driven backwards a long, long way by Kevin Kingston. Good tackle by Lewis with some help from Waterhouse. Now Campese at the back. Dugan again will reach out and give Canberra the lead. But it was 6 tackles they weren't entitled to. They make the Panthers pay for it. It's 10 points to 6, and Dugan is dangerous tonight on that left-hand side of the field.
He is, in the quick ball to Dugan off David Shillington. Quick play, the ball had Travis Burns in trouble. He wasn't sure who to mark. And once he slid sideways, Dugan put the footwork on, cut back on the inside. There's Travis Burns. He was flat-footed. You're always going to be in trouble when you go flat-footed against Josh Dugan. The cover from the inside wasn't quick enough.
And out of the game with barely 90 seconds gone. Liddell for Campese. Here's Monahan racing in. Sandor Earl. An aggressive stop right there. Monahan might have resented it. Now a penalty goes against Joel Monahan for giving Phil Haynes a serve, but not Campese, who wraps him up about 5 metres out from the line. Purtell feeds it for Lewis. He had Graham pushing up as well. Still going as Lewis, running across and linking up with Frank Pritchard. And Frank the Tank replies for the Panthers.
Well, it looks like he got it down. He was pretty confident, Frank Pritchard. It looked like he switched hands to get the ball down. Luke Lewis drifting across the field. Canberra waiting to see, the defensive line waiting to see which hole he was going to take. Turned Pritchard on the inside. The grounding of the football. Well, he gets it down first go. Gets it down first go.
That's a try off the back of a penalty from Joel Monahan, and I must say, some pretty ordinary defence from the Canberra Raiders. This will be a try that'll bring the Panthers closer to Canberra with a kick to come.
Some bonus metres there, which could have really hurt Canberra. Kingston, not a great ball for Graham. Did well, Grabbers through, Burns picks it up, Gordon's on the scene, he hangs on to it, now he puts the foot down, gets it back, a chance for McKendry! McKendry, did it get there? I think he might have.
I think he did in the end.
It took an age though.
It might have required some help from some teammates to spin him back towards the try line, because the tackle was a good one in the end goal. A golden opportunity for the Canberra Raiders to have Penrith jammed on a sideline on the 5th tackle. Pritchard allowed to get up and run again. Good pressure by Canberra, but the little short kick from Wade Graham, smart play. Travis Burns scoops it up on the run, decides to continue on. I thought he was going to pass early, but then the work from Michael Gordon, extraordinary. The pass was hard and high. And Gordon was still able to get himself into some space, onto McKendry. Campese, the tackler, looked like he'd done it. McKendry spins back towards the try line. And I think the ball gets down there. Waterhouse comes in and pushes the ball down. He's done an extraordinary job, Campese. Down.
Try.
Just not good enough.
Well, he was hanging on for dear life, Terry Campese, but the front rower, the young front rower, and Sam McKendry has grounded the football. And this will take the Panthers to the lead for the first time in this game.
Floating left, floating right, as he does. Now it goes from Graham. A cutout ball from Burns. Away to Jennings on the outside of McCrone. Good pass for Ty. Looking for a try in game 100. And he'll get it as well. Well, hands by the Panthers. We're going to check it.
Feet in here, Dan, please.
Vito's feet. Vito comes across and lashes out with his boot.
So there's no dramas with the try.
No.
It'll be 4 points for Brad Ty and Penrith.
Possibly 8.
Wait and see what happens here with Daniel Vito. Does he lash out? Yes, he does. Well, he might have made contact there with the arm. Of course, a bit of talk yesterday about an action by Anthony Minicello in coming across to try and save a try. It turned out to be a no try for Brett Morris in the Roosters-Dragons game.
They may have got away with that.
He might have just come up a bit short.
Josh Dugan just getting up off the ground. Copped a knock when he tried to stop Brad Ty, and Ty had nowhere to go. It'll be a try. And Brad Ty needs 100th.
He's coming led with a leg, and you've hit him, made contact with the head, so it's a possible 8-point try. And put it on report. Okay, so after we have this, we're going out for a kick in front. Possible 8-point try. Yeah.
Adele again waiting for the play of the ball there from Alan Tongue. Thrown, a bit of contact there, not too much of it.
Okay.
Kick from inside the 40. The referees will take a look at it and say there was too much contact for their liking. By Trent Waterhouse. Here's Waddell coming back to Campese. Canberra, terrific chance to narrow this gap straight away. Here's Mogg giving it away to Vito. He dives in, and we may have an issue here for a possible 8-point try once again. Coming across, a bit of contact with Daniel Vito.
He was talking about the penalty, Luke Lewis. There's McCrone. Well, slow motion. It never looks good in slow motion, as you said, was. Good work by the Raiders to be able to shift the ball to the left and then immediately shift it back to the right. Michael Jennings slid in on the back of Vito's legs as he put the ball down. McCrone just got on the outside of Wade Graham. That caused the problems.
Fallen Mogg couldn't do so, and he stopped at the 20. Waddell from dummy half. He goes across to McCrone, almost away. Mogg, a chance, fires a ball out wide for Harrison. Searching, he found the in-goal area. He plants it down, and here come the Raiders.
Well, they're playing fast. They're winning the battle on the ground. They weren't doing that in the first 40 minutes. Bronson Harrison, great strength. Waddell out of dummy half. Finding McCrone, he's starting to look dangerous. Mogg doubling up and getting around, receiving the pass. He still had plenty to do here, Harrison. But he kept his feet. And he is so strong. He's built low to the ground. He's hard to tackle. And there you can see him pushing away from defenders and then just slamming it down. And we have a game on our hands.
Second to see the still waiting to get a chance to come back onto the field of play. It'll probably happen to swap next time they get the ball. Sure. Dugan for Croker again. What a combination this is. He runs towards Gordon, who makes a good tackle and stops him 35 away. Fast play the ball. Campese has Dugan coming with him. May not need him. Touched, knocked down, and saved by Travis Burns. And to the right-hand side. That's where they go. Leroy Lars, Campese out the back. Oh, McCrone. Good tackle by Graham. Chest on chest. For a moment there, he was almost able to spin away and score underneath the black dot. Waddell gives it to Campese. Flat ball, Galea out the back to Campese, and there it is. It had to come. Canberra eventually, they've taken the lead.
Well, the run by Leroy Glass dragged about 6 Penrith players. There was a group of Penrith players under the goalpost there. Look at them. There was space either side of the ruck. They just needed to get an offload, and they did through Danny Galea. Campese, who was up his involvement in the last 15 or 20 minutes. Plenty of running. He likes the look of things now, Campese.
He's just outside the 20. Here's the last. They have to get a repeat, and if they don't score, Graham puts it up. Dugan stands underneath it. Lewis comes down with it and will be held up in goal.
Great job from the Raiders, Luke Lewis.
Campese will tap it. Galea will take it forward. Canberra win, and they're alive in 2010. They knew what it meant. And they're going to celebrate like they've won a final, and it probably feels like the first of at least 5 sudden death finals if they're to make the top 8.